One of the things that I have really been trying to do, and I've been telling you guys that I was going to do, is that I was going to try and read more. And this week I decided that come hell or high water, I was going to make the time to read Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. I'm currently reading Giovanni's Room, and when I tell you the writing is so beautiful, I can't even begin to describe it. I've not read writing this beautiful in a very long time. I'm absolutely loving it. I love this book. You can tell by how much I've outlined it and tabbed it. And I'm only on chapter 3. We haven't even made it to Giovanni's Room yet. One thing about this book that makes me very nervous is the fact that I know that the ending is going to be heartbreaking. I know that from the foreshadowing. We already know the tragedy is coming. But in life, we know that tragedy comes. We know the tragedy is coming. We know that this is finite. But I think when you know specifically, it just breaks your heart. Like, my heart is already broken. And like I said, I'm only on chapter 3. But we have met Giovanni. I now know the narrator's name is David. And we've met a few characters along the way by chapter 3. Even one very strange, sinister character that kind of slinks in and lets us know that all is not well. But the writing. Let me give you a couple of examples. My father had money in his account, which belonged to me, but he was very reluctant to send it because he wanted me to come home. To come home, as he said, and settle down. And whenever he said that, I thought of the sediment at the bottom of a stagnant pond. Giovanni's face, which I had memorized so many mornings, noons, and nights, hardened before my eyes, began to give in secret places, began to crack. The light in his eyes became glitter. The wide and beautiful brow began to suggest the skull beneath. The sensual lips turned inward, busy with the sorrow overflowing from his heart. It became a stranger's face, or it made me so guilty to look on him that I wished it was a stranger's face. Today is hair washing day. Hair is washed and molded, and I will curl it later. I'm headed to the coffee shop. This is the Tower 28 lip gloss, lip oil. I'm not sure. I really like it. It's just clear. I just like how it makes my lips feel. But I'm headed out. When I come back, I will finish my hair and dig deeper into my book because it is so good. This book by James Baldwin was published in 1956. So 50s Paris he's writing about. As far as I know, he is writing about an American named David. David, the American, is the narrator. And it is 169 pages long. At one point, we're in the south of France, but we go to Paris. And Paris is like another character in the book. And the way he describes Paris, that is what makes this book so beautiful. So I'm interjecting here. I just want you to know I'm not doing a full review of the book here in this video. This video is more to talk about like what reading does for me and how it makes me feel and how reading really is a form of self-care. I have a lot of hobbies. I have my plants, which I have promised to talk about on this channel. I have my hydrangeas. I love my hydrangeas. I have the rest of my garden. I have all of the things outdoors that make me happy. My roses. There's always weeds to pull. There's always things to be fertilized. There's always things to be repotted. There are just a plethora of things that I do indoors and outside of my house. And don't get me wrong, I love all of these things. Look at this. I have some blooms. And you guys, in spite of the fact that I'm getting black spot on this rose bush, I got my first There is quite a bit that's going on in my life, and it's good. It's good. Family, social obligations, all of that. But reading centers me. It centers me. It teaches me. I learned so much from reading. And the fact that it can be a struggle to do it really makes me kind of sad sometimes. The full review of Giovanni's Room will be on my reading channel. I know I said I was going to get rid of that channel, but I changed my mind. and I decided to keep it. So I will link that video below and maybe even put an end card up here somewhere too, so you can access it if you want to. But I do still want to post reading content on that channel. A little bit of reading content here as well, but just giving you a heads up that this video is not a full review of Giovanni's Room. It's just me examining my struggle to read, and also taking a break from all of the cleaning that I've been doing. So let's get back into it. I didn't know what to expect from a James Baldwin book because I had never read one. I did not know the literature was this like literary, if that makes sense. I probably sound really dumb, but I don't mean to. My point is, I don't understand why my class wasn't assigned this book in school. I'm wanting to say people read this in our school probably in like 10th grade. But I think because of the class that I was in, I wasn't assigned this. And I hate that. I hate that I'm this age and just now reading this book, because it's actually pretty beautiful so far. So the places mentioned: south of France, Paris, Spain, Italy, and New York. Our narrator, David, who is arguably not the main character because it's Giovanni's room, so I guess Giovanni's the main character. But, you know, you know how that goes in books. Just because he is the title character doesn't mean that he's the main character. I mean, we are following David, the narrator, who you don't find out his name until the second chapter, unless I missed it somewhere in the first. We don't actually know who we're listening to until the second chapter. And we don't officially meet Giovanni until page 29. There's a lot of romantic tension there. And I love how Baldwin opens up about that. Like, it's for 1956, one would not think that it would be that open. Like, we actually experience the moment when David realizes that his preference is not women. So, yeah, that's what has taken place in this book. I know I'm being very vague, because if you want to read the book, I don't want to give it away for you, or give it away. Yeah, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to spoil it for you. From the very beginning, the way that he describes where he is and the people around him and his feelings on things, and the fact that he has a fiance that he really should not have proposed to, and even his feelings on that, it's all very raw to me, and it's all very raw and very vulnerable. That's the word. That's the word. I could have summed all of this up by just telling you that it was vulnerable, and I would have saved 7 minutes. I haven't read very many books like this, so I am doing some self-reflection, because at the end of the day, I feel like when you read a book, it should tell you something about yourself. One of the reasons why I feel like I can't ever get any reading done is because there's always something to do, whether it's body maintenance, house maintenance, running errands, hanging out at the coffee shop, which isn't a necessity in the big scheme of things, but is a necessity for my mental health, because I'm always going to relax. I'm always going to take time out for myself, and coffee shops are just places for me to do that. Don't mind the mess back here. It's a lot. But I wanted to show you, I have been using this mousse from the Doux, the Mousse Def. I love their play on words. I've been using the texture foam, and it's an all-in-one styler. It's for all hair types. This is great for when you want to wear your hair curly, but I have been using it to wrap my hair, or to mold my hair rather, not wrap it, but to mold it. You can see I have a little mousse right here. But to mold it, because it was, aside from the Nairobi mold and the Lotta Body, which I really can't stand the smell, this is the only other one that works for molding, sort of. But they have a new one, and this is part of their thermal styling system. It's called the Doux Gangster Wrap. I really do hope this is a Black-owned company, because if it's not, I can just see the backlash already. Like, please be a Black-owned company. But it's a soft hold one-step styler for blowouts, roller sets, and pixies, but also for textured hair. And since I have cut out the relaxer and I'm just going now with my natural hair, I need something that is really going to mold my hair down. Even though I'm going to hot curl it, does anybody even say that anymore? Even though I'm going to flat iron it and curl it into a style, I need something to hold my hair down. So I can already see that this mold is a lot better than the one that I did before I left the house. And I can already see that it's going to straighten and curl a lot better. But I'm going to let this dry. So while I'm letting this dry, I think I'm going to read. I feel like that's a good use of my time. I'm going to turn on some YouTube videos for background noise. And then I'm going to try to finish the 3rd chapter of Giovanni's Room. Yeah. So I think it should take my hair about an hour to fully dry. I'm not going to rush it, but I have some snacks. I got some pistachios. I did not make up my bed this morning, you guys. Shame on me. Okay. And I also got the Kavita Sparkling Lemonade with prebiotics. This is a prebiotic drink for gut health. I should probably also get some sort of probiotic, but I don't have that. So I'm going with the prebiotic. And I have my water cup from Starbucks. I'm just going to pour this in it. There's a little tiny bit of ice left at the bottom, and that should be enough. Sometimes when I drink cold drinks, it gives me like heartburn. I probably need to get that checked out. Didn't fill it all the way up, but that's enough. I love these prebiotic sodas. And then I also drink sometimes we have kombucha, and I drink that for my probiotic, or yogurt. I have some yogurt for the probiotic. So that's nice. Not too apple cider vinegary, but it's 14 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber, so I will go. And there's 4 grams of added sugars, so not too sugary. It also, because it's fizzy and sparkling, it satisfies my need to drink soda, because I love a good soda. And right now, that's my biggest guilty pleasure because I can't drink alcohol. Soda and coffee it is, which I'm okay with. So I'm going to turn on YouTube and probably just turn on something that I can listen to in the background while I read. If I'm being honest, I sometimes find it very hard to concentrate. There's noise outside. I probably should turn off the TV, but if it's too quiet, I still can't concentrate. And it's also hard to eat pistachios while reading a book. I didn't really think that through. I also got cold too, so I decided to start on my hair. I am really loving that new Doux Mousse. I used to use the other one, the texturizing one, but the one that's specifically meant for wrapping your hair and for pixies, it's the GOAT. I'm also using this flat iron. I'll have to pop the name either on the screen or in the description box because I can't think of the name now right off the top of my head. But this little flat iron I really like. I actually have one that's slightly larger for straightening my hair. But when I do this style, I really like to do a little bit of a curl too. And this flat iron does both. It flattens and it curls. I feel like my irons were a little too hot, and I think I did realize that somewhere midway into this process. They were a little smoky, but for the most part, I am trying to grow my hair out. And in order to do that, for me, I'm going to probably wear it straightened and curled in the pixie most of the time. I feel like my hair grows better when it's straight. And I also feel like the maintenance is just way easier. Typically, I will wash it once a week and try to infuse it with as much moisture and hydration as possible. And then leave it alone because that's how my hair grows. I have had this short haircut since probably 2018. And so it is really going to be weird to have hair again. I'm trying very hard to stick with the program because I do want to grow it out and have longer hair again. I guess it's just time. I know that it looks like a tedious process, but actually once I get on a roll, it doesn't take that long to do. And the beauty of it is I can tie it down at night. And even though when I wake up in the morning, it's pretty flat, the hairs are in place. And that, honestly, is the key. It's the key to keeping my hair healthy because I'm not constantly manipulating it. And it's also the key to growing it long because if it's healthy, it's going to grow. And here is the finished product. It's soft, it's silky, and hopefully it stays put. So full disclosure, after I did my hair, I really tried to read the book, but I was so tired, you guys. So getting through chapter 3 was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I kept dropping my book because I kept falling asleep last night. So I decided to give it a rest. But we have made it to Giovanni's room. And I suspect, because it wasn't explicitly written, that we know Giovanni carnally now. David has put us back to the beginning. We're back in the south of France where we actually started. He was leaving the big house that they were renting, he and his fiance, and going to Paris. Now we're back at the house. So I'm going to try to get through chapter 3. I've already gotten up and done a bit of my skincare because it's probably the only habit that I have that is actually a habit that I actually complete every single day. I got up and did that, part of it. Just eye cream and vitamin C. And I'm going to let that sink in and try to read a few pages. And maybe I can get through chapter 3. We'll see. Okay, that went by faster than I thought. I'm on part 2. I'm assuming that this book only has 6 chapters. So that last part was pretty cool. David is leaving the south of France. Whatever has happened to Giovanni has already happened, and he has found himself alone, but he's leaving. I don't know where he's going, but I'm assuming in part 2, we will find out what happened to Giovanni, and because something did, and where David ends up. Since I got through chapter 3 fairly quickly, I'm going to try to push into chapter 1 in part 2, but I hear my husband, and if that's the case, it's probably not going to happen because as soon as he sees me wake up in the morning, he starts talking. We shall see. And like clockwork, the house is alive. I have started receiving the texts from my family and the jackhammering has started outside. So I have gotten about 4 pages in to the second section of the book, the second half of the book, part 2, chapter 1, part 2. And we're getting to see Giovanni now and understanding a little bit more about who he is. So as luck would have it, no one needed my immediate assistance after all, and I was able to actually read a good chunk of that second section. I was actually able to get through more of the book, which was lucky for me. They even stopped drilling or hammering or whatever they were doing outside, so it was kind of perfect. But I think I'm going to stop here. I don't have that much more left of the book. I am about halfway through. So I think I can get it done. I think I can get it done today or tomorrow, which is kind of nice. Now that I'm ready to move on to another book, I'm actually enjoying this story. I think I have a 30 book goal for this year. And I think I'm only about 8 books in. So, I mean, it's still April, so I have time, but I don't want to get too complacent. I do want to reach my goal this year, or at least really try. So I'm going to put this book down for now, but we will definitely revisit soon. Later on in the day, I was able to go to the coffee shop with my hubby. We really got to sit there for a couple of hours, and I actually got to annotate the book. I got to really do some deep reading and thinking about the book, and I also actually finished the book, which is so lovely for me. It felt really good to prioritize reading and to prioritize myself. One of the other forms of self-care that I really am starting to get deeper into and try to do better is just what I eat. So I thought I would share with you my little avocado toast preparation, because that is one of the things that I'm trying to do better as well, is to eat better, because I want to live a quality life. I want to get very old, but I also want to still feel very young. And I know that those two things don't often go hand in hand, but if I'm going to be here, I might as well still be in my right mind and have control over my limbs and other faculties. And I still want to be strong and healthy. So hubby made avocado toast. Well, he made the smash for the avocado toast, and I'm going to build my toast. So underneath the smash, I have truffle mayonnaise. I'm obsessed with truffle mayonnaise. I have the avocado. I'm going to sprinkle on a little Parmesan cheese, just enough for flavor. I can just do this. I'll just do that instead, since the Parmesan cheese won't let me be great. To sprinkle a little bit of the Japanese multi-purpose furikake seasoning. This is the Nikokomi, I think that's what this says, Norikomi, because nori is seaweed, I think, right? I think. Anyway, I'm gonna sprinkle a little of this on. And it does have sesame seeds in it. However, I'm also going to sprinkle on a little bit of the everything but the bagel seasoning because I like the flavor. Just a tiny bit though, because that's more sesame seeds. And I'm gonna top it off with Nona Pia's balsamic glaze. This is what sets it off. Let's see if I can make it pretty. I'm doing it for the camera, so probably not. Ooh, it's kind of pretty. And this is my avocado toast. Here is a recap of all the ingredients. It's the avocado, the guacamole, the avocado smash with the truffle mayonnaise, Parmesan cheese, furikake seasoning, everything but the bagel seasoning, which I need to close, and the balsamic glaze. So let's taste it, even though I know what it tastes like. So let's have a taste. I just used regular white bread this time, but sometimes I use sourdough. Sometimes I use my daughter's homemade bread when we have it. Hopefully she can hear me because we need some more. Okay, let's see. It's the perfect breakfast. It's so good. You should try it. And so yeah, that's the recipe. It tasted amazing. So I am already on to my next book, Hater by Dan Moody. I like to think of this book as like your favorite crime drama crossed with your favorite sci-fi drama. So really quickly, society is rocked by a sudden increase in the number of violent assaults on individuals, christened haters by the media. The attackers strike without warning, killing all who cross their path. As 100 random attacks become 1,000 and hundreds of thousands, it soon becomes clear that everyone, irrespective of race, class, or any other difference, has the potential to become a victim or a hater. People are afraid to go to work, afraid to leave their homes, and increasingly afraid that at any moment their friends, even their closest family, could turn on them with ultra-violent intent. Waking up each morning, no matter how well defended, everyone must now consider the fact that by the end of the day, they might all be dead or become a killer themselves. As the status quo shifts, attack first, ask questions later becomes the order of the day. Only the answers might be far different than what you expect. In the tradition of H.G. Wells and Richard Matheson, Hater is one man's story of his place in a world gone mad, a world infected with fear, violence, and hate. I had this lying around and saw it, decided to just check it out, and I can't put it down. So So I may be reading my 8th book. This is actually, no, my 7th. I said that I had read 8. I only read 6. So this will be book number 7. I am already like 75 pages in, and this book is, let's see. There's a to be continued. This book has 281 pages. This is a series, y'all. Wait a minute. Discovery in real time. Look at us. Breaking news, breaking news. There's a trilogy, the Hater Trilogy, part 2. Dog Blood is the next one, coming soon. This book was written in like 2006, I think, or published in 2006. Let me see. I'm getting so good at doing the one-handed thing. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I was right. Good memory. 2006 by David Moody. So there may be 2 other books that go along with the series. And apparently there was a movie that Guillermo del Toro did. They said soon to be a major motion picture produced by Guillermo del Toro and directed by J.A. Bayona. All right. I don't know if that happened, but I'll report back in the next video. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading this book. Now, I don't know how much this is going to do for my self-care, but I guess like getting lost in other worlds. Like, I am an avid crime drama person. I love crime dramas, medical dramas, police, fire, whatever. I watch both 911s. I watch all the FBI's, all the Law and Orders. Oh, you just making noise just to be making noise. I'd be so glad when these people are done. Our neighborhood is done, by the way. It's done. The house across the street, the people did their final walkthrough yesterday. But you know what now that we have to contend with? They have had to come in and jackhammer all of the driveways, because I guess they need to put another layer of concrete in all of the driveways. That starts at 7 every morning now. And they always manage to do the jackhammering part in the morning and the quiet part of putting the concrete in the afternoon. Make that make sense. And then apparently after they're done with that part, they're going to repave the street. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to rip up the street and then repave it or what. So we're almost a year in, and maybe this winter I'll get some peace and quiet, maybe. Or, maybe I just have to go on more trips. I don't know. I think I want to go on a quiet retreat though. Just me, my headphones, and my books. Well, if it's quiet, I won't need headphones. Anyway, you guys, I am still all about the self-care. I'm still all about living as soft a life as possible, as I can possibly live. And I encourage you all to do the same. And I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. Yes, we are still doing our spring cleaning for the month of April. Let's just be real. I'll probably always be spring cleaning or doing some sort of organization project, because that's just who I am. I actually enjoy those things. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out the full review on the other channel. Link in the description box. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.